Welcome to San Antonio, Texas. It is Monday, it's lunchtime. Dan's making lunch over there for us, and we are halfway through our workday. This afternoon, we are planning to go out and explore San Antonio a little bit. So what we have on the calendar is visiting the Alamo and the San Antonio Riverwalk, which is just this nice walkable area downtown. It's looking beautiful outside. We're parked in the Cracker Barrel parking lot, but we've got this nice empty field behind us, so it was a good place to park overnight and work for the day.
We had an absolutely lovely drive into town last night. The sunset was so gorgeous, it was hard to stop filming it.
So a very lovely introduction to Texas so far. We can't wait to explore. It's 4 o'clock local time, which means it's 5 o'clock at home, which means the workday is done, and we are going to the Alamo. That's a place, right? Or like, what is it?
Place.
All right. You might remember those dried red beans that I mentioned in a previous vlog. Well, I want to make them for supper tonight, and so I started soaking them this morning when I got up, and they're not done yet, so I'm just holding them now because otherwise they will spill all over the place. I guess I could have probably set them in the sink, and then if the water spilt a bit, it wouldn't have mattered.
Then the beans would slosh into the sink.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm just holding this bowl of beans while we dry.
Well, we got a turn coming up, so hold those beans.
Okay, I will.
Hang on to your beans.
So welcome to downtown San Antonio, right?
That's right.
It's a beautiful afternoon. After our first few cold days in Texas, it's now warmed up. It's like 24.
Yeah, the cold wave is over.
And really nice and sunny. Okay, so I have a question for you, Dan. Can you tell me anything at all about what the Alamo is, other than that we're supposed to remember it?
No comments.
I know, I feel so bad.
You should be filming this after we've done the tour.
Okay, we'll tell you more about it after we've done the tour. I swear we'll learn something. So shamefully, we didn't really know this ahead of time, but now
we're Canadian. You can't really blame us.
We've learned a lot in this short time. So, the Battle of the Alamo happened in 1836, and it was between Texans and Mexico. Basically, at the time, they were sort of a region or a state of Mexico, and they wanted independence from Mexico, and thus the Battle of the Alamo is kind of when the tides turned and they became independent. This all sounds so familiar. I feel like there's a theme, with this state. So anyway, that's what it was. But before that, it was a church. It was a Spanish mission that this building was actually built like 300 years ago. That's quite old. But then it was reappropriated as like a fort, basically, during the Battle of the Alamo. And it had been before that as well, so.
And that battle happened almost 200 years ago. It was between February 23rd and March 6th.
And today is March 1st, so we're kind of here around that same time of year.
Kind of crazy. Now don't go using this on your school projects, you
because we can't
American
confirm
school
any
people.
Information of what we've just reported. I have no idea. All I know is to remember the Alamo.
No, I was going to say don't plagiarize.
Oh.
It's Davy Crockett.
I guess he's a real guy. I don't know. Is Paul Bunyan a real guy?
No, that's a statue. It's not a real guy. You notice that every single one of the park rangers / information
police officers or
whatever they are,
yeah,
they all have mustache.
Maybe that's part of the uniform.
They all have a mustache.
As required as the cowboy hats.
Yes.
So now we're headed down to the famous San Antonio Riverwalk, which should be fun.
I read that this is supposed to be the #1 tourist attraction in the state of Texas.
And it's really loud here.
Just one more bed. Let's find a brook or stream, my friend. Who cares if we're
Walking along here, I literally feel like I could fall into the river at any moment.
Well, don't.
Well, I'm trying.
You do wonder how many tourists per year are too busy looking at their camera and fall in the river.
It could be me.
It could be me.
We're currently in line at a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru because we felt like that was a cultural experience.
That's the most American thing you can do.
So it's after work on Wednesday. It's another busy day. What else is new? And I'm hungry and tired, so I'm hoping that this food and caffeine will solve that. And then we're gonna go out and see more of San Antonio.
I don't know that I've ever been to a Dunkin' Donuts before.
I definitely haven't. Why do I look like a thumb?
No.
Yeah, I do.
See, here's the thing. You always edit out the dumb stuff you say. The dumb stuff that I say. You're like, oh, it's quirky. I'm gonna leave it in.
Whatever. These little hash browns are making me so happy. This iced latte is good. It's a bit too sweet, which is saying a lot coming from me.
The original church here was built between 1738 and 1750, and the walls of that church today are incorporated into the sanctuary of the current church.
Oh, cool. Welcome to Stonewall, Texas. We're just about an hour outside of Austin. We parked here last night and now we're just kind of doing our work day. It's lunchtime though, and our water tank is getting pretty low, so we're gonna fill it up, and I thought I would show you how we're doing that. Since we saw you in San Antonio, we've basically just been doing the regular work day thing, and our plan for the weekend is to go to Austin, and we found this really great spot on Overlander near Stonewall. So, well, I'll show you around. This is this nice building with bathrooms and a water fountain. There's Vanjie, there's a nice picnic area, and then there's a river down there. So just a really nice, pretty area. So obviously as part of our regular van routines, we need to make sure that we charge our batteries and fill up our water roughly once a week. And actually, since we were at Jonathan Dickinson State Park, like 3 weeks ago or something, we have not paid for camping anywhere. Obviously we stayed with Grandma and Grandpa at Lakewood for a week, and we were able to get water and like plug in there and stuff. But since we left there 2 weeks ago now, almost, it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow, we haven't stayed at any state parks or anything like that.
We've been doing stuff like this.
Yeah, and last weekend when we were in Winnie, Texas, we scored this really great camping spot through Overlander, which was basically a free campground because they had like water spigots and electricity and like a kind of gray water like dump thing at every site.
Sewers. Yeah.
So we were able to use that. Here at this Overlander location, we plugged into a sneaky little spot on the lamppost last night, and now there's no place to like attach a hose or anything like that, so we've got this innovative solution which I'll show you.
We have a cut up Sprite bottle here that's acting as a funnel, and if I hold everything just right, I can turn on the water fountain and get the water flowing into our jug, and from the jug we'll use the funnel again fill our water tank. My biceps are getting swole.
Yeah.
This is the third time filling this 5 gallon foldable jug here, right?
Yep. This is just a 5 gallon like water jug that we got at like Canadian Tire.
You can get it at any camping supplies place. A jug like this, and
my parents have one just like it, which is kind of what made us think to get
it's
one.
our third time filling it, and hopefully this will bring our tank all the way to the top.
We were at a quarter tank when we started, and basically 4 of these would pretty much fill our water tank, so if they're full. This is the kind of stuff that we get up to so that we can just park for free.
Are we cheap? I guess most people would just pay for a campground.
We will pay for campgrounds, and we have, but
campgrounds run like, I don't know, like $40 a night or so. Cheaper ones are maybe 25 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
They can definitely get expensive. Like the nice KOAs get $80 or more dollars a night, but
this is free.
We're doing this for free,
and we do have campsites booked for like throughout the rest of our trip. But when we can find a spot like this, then it allows us to basically go an extra week before we have to pay for a campsite again, so we can kind of extend it longer.
The biggest thing with campsites is just like reserving them,
Yeah.
figuring out the logistics, and finding one that's got an
Available.
open spot on your route.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the hardest part, honestly.
Cruising deep space in my motorhome. Gonna find a new rocking pocket there.
We're on the road again now from Stonewall to Austin, and I gotta say the drive through Stonewall area is a lot less scary during the daytime, because last night when we were driving to the rest stop where we stayed, we saw, like, no word of a lie, 30 or more deer. They were just
one pig.
everywhere. And one wild pig.
Like a wild boar. Oh, and the possum.
And a possum crossing the road. I wish I had footage of all of this, but I did get a couple clips, I think, of deer. But it was just a little bit scary because they show up all of a sudden and you're like, please don't run out into the road. And we just kept seeing them, so
We took it really slow.
yeah.
I feel like we should address that this has been a tough week for us, and especially for the people of Ukraine. Like, it's been really tough reading the news. For me, I have some Ukrainian family, but even for people that don't have a connection, it's just really been a tough week reading the news and following what's happening there. Certainly our hearts go out to the Ukrainians and people with Ukrainian family members and all of those impacted.
It has definitely been a difficult and, like, somber week. So I think, this weekend, hopefully we can just take some time to relax and explore and take our minds off things for a little bit, and we'll take you along with us.
Inside on my own again. And going out of my head.
Saturday morning, and we're about to head out and explore Austin.
Day one in Austin.
Our first stop on the tour is the Greetings from Austin sign, which is definitely quite popular, so we just quickly snapped a couple pics.
There was a group of like 20 bridesmaids, a whole bride squad here just before we got here. They were just leaving.
And now a bike tour has arrived, which you can see. Today it was my responsibility to plan our adventures. So I've got a bit of an itinerary of walking around the kind of like downtown area of Austin, and we're gonna check out a couple like restaurants and coffee shops and stuff. So hopefully Dan likes what I've planned for us.
I really appreciate you planning.
Yeah, of course. This is a tight roundabout.
Oh no, we'll be fine.
In 100 meters at the traffic signal.
Oh, that looks so good. That's the cauliflower chicken. So our original plan was to go to a restaurant called Project Polo, which I think is a bit of a local chain. It's kind of like, vegan fast food, or, stuff like chicken strips and mac and cheese and stuff. So anyway, we walked over there after checking out the cemetery, but it's actually closed for renovations, and so I had to just quickly pull up Google Maps and see what was around, and I ended up finding this really cool food truck that's called Community Vegan, and it's just again, sort of vegan fun or comfort food, and it was so good. It was delicious. I had these oyster mushroom wings, and Dan had a cauliflower chicken sandwich, and the owner actually came out afterwards and was like, oh, how was your food, and asked us for feedback,
Really
and we
friendly guy.
chatted about the oyster mushrooms and how that's kind of a new thing people are doing as a meat substitute, and what a friendly guy. So really cool experience here in East Austin so far. Lots of really cool local businesses. definitely not a film and ride sort of thing.
All of these people, including us, are here to see a bunch of bats. Every night, sometime around sunset, well, most nights, sometime after sunset, like a huge flock of bats, like something like 50,000 bats will come from under this bridge and fly
Off into the night.
Yeah, fly into the night in search of food and stuff. But there's tons and tons of them, and we're gonna see if we can watch them fly. No bats. Well, we were hoping for like 50,000 bats.
But we
They
saw
were, like,
about
4,
maybe
five.
five.
Some people are still there waiting, hoping that they'll still come, but most people have given up by now, including us.
Unfortunately, the bats are not paid actors. They are just locals living their lives, and so you can't count on them to make an appearance every single night, especially in the winter, which it's kind of like I forget that it's winter all the time because it does not feel like it, but we might try again tomorrow night. Good morning. It is Sunday. We are parked here in Zilker Park in Austin. Just grabbed iced latte, and I've got a treat in a box back here that I haven't opened up yet from Dear Diary Coffee, and we're just gonna chill at the park today. I've got set up because I need to start pulling the footage together to edit this vlog, but I think today is gonna be more of a chill day. We thought it was gonna be really hot out. I think the forecast said it's gonna be like 27, but it's quite breezy, so it doesn't feel that hot, and it's kind of overcast. So, oh, Dad's calling me.
How are you now?
Good, I was just filming a clip for my video. Yeah, that's okay though. Okay, anyway, I think that's gonna be it for this week's video. We are gonna just hang out for the rest of the day, and I think this video's been long enough already. So, thanks for watching, as always. We miss you all back home. We love you, and we will see you in next week's video. Bye!